stop me would not be like moral concern.
My point is, do you think it would be hard to find people?
No, it would be super fucking easy. It would be super fucking easy. Any person with any strength in their convictions who was not incredibly fearful like me of the prospect of committing a crime.
Especially, you have to remember another thing that would make cheating worse in this election than another election. The media and the Democratic
Trump
Party.
Is Hitler. We have a fascist in the White House.
Half the country, not only that Trump is Hitler and that we have a fascist in the White House, they convinced them that the last election was stolen by Putin.
Mm-hmm. So
even if you said, well, Trump's Hitler, but I support democracy and you can't do a coup against Hitler, you have to vote him out. Then on top of that, you have the added conviction that you truly believe that this is not a democratic process, that this is just Putin is filling out ballots for Trump. Are you going to fill out ballots for Biden, or are you going to let Putin steal the election? You and I both know the real winner of this election, if everyone voted, would be Biden. But that's not going to happen. So are you going to let them steal it, or are you going to fight back?
I'll give my listeners something even better. If you've been imbibing if you've been watching CNN for the past 4 years, this whole time, and you're volunteering to like work on a Democrat campaign, and you won't go to that like pizza party and just fill out fill out some ballots for Biden, what the fuck was wrong with? Like, are you something like you would have to? I mean, you have to be a coward like me. I mean, something would have to be wrong with somebody who would like. I'm not willing to like. Something would need to be weird about you, right?
And no one would pull you aside and be like, act like this was a shady thing. They would be like,
yeah.
They might say you can't tell anybody, but they would not act. They would not. This would be like a devil's bargain where they give you a pen filled with your own blood or anything, and you know it's wrong. It would be like, hey, we're all getting together. We're going to the ping pong place in a couple days, and we're gonna. Oh
yeah, it occurs to me. I've been saying pizza party this whole time, and
we're gonna go down to the basement, and no, not that. We're just gonna fill out ballots. Maybe that after. We're just gonna fill out some ballots, and then maybe after, if there's enough time, but just ballots,
I just want to be explicit. I've been using pizza just as a thing like that people do as a normal,
like burgers, just as a thing.
It's just my go-to example.
As an Americana, we get together.
That's the idea of just free food, broadly speaking. I really do just mean like free food. There will be free food, and there will be beer, and you can dick around. They're not gonna. It's not some kind of like sweatshop operation where the guys
can dick around. There's gonna be pizza. You can dick around. Shut up.
It's not any kind of sweatshop operation where you're sitting at these tables, like keep quiet. And I was like, yeah, just work it. You see, there's not the problem of checking your quota, right? Just fill them out. Like, here's a signature.
Yeah, it would be no different than a normal party for these campaigns where we're all getting together at his house to stuff envelopes.
Yeah,
for direct mail.
Yes, and the job of a campaign manager, and the campaign manager's job is to see which people are true believers like this. And those are the ones you just ask them. And they know they're true believers. Everybody's on the same page. Like, the campaign manager probably almost never needs to even say, and you'll get a super good letter if you do this. The campaign manager's been there for a month. He already knows all the interns by name, and he knows which ones are like down with it.
Okay, Marcel, what about black on black crime?
Okay, moving on. And if anybody says that this kind of thing is not possible because conspiracies aren't possible, or it's like this isn't possible because they'd be afraid of getting caught, they're dumb. This wouldn't happen because this would require coordination. Not only are they dumb, but they're not listening because no coordination is necessary. All it takes is a campaign manager who's just good at his job, right? Who's good at spotting people who agree with him politically, which is his whole... That's why he's there. We're going to go on to Democrat news and then back to the election. So the next thing is that Nancy Pelosi... So the Democrat Civil War is picking up in earnest. So apparently Nancy Pelosi's house has been allegedly vandalized by...
Not the brick.
Not the brick. They only got... Oh, okay. So I heard this is mentioned as a joke. Okay, I see it. So yes, Nancy Pelosi's house has been vandalized by people saying...
The joke is that someone drew a circle that covered part of the doorway, and then the part where it would have hit the brick, it just stops as if someone had put tape over the brick to keep it from getting defaced.
Right.
It was as if someone said, we're going to deface this property, we're going to make sure that we only get it on the garage door and nothing else. So put some tape around it so that we don't ruin her driveway.
Yeah. So on her garage door, it was like it's like ACAB, cancel rent.
We want it all.
Yeah.
2K with a line through it saying, like, we don't want 2K, we want it. UBI was on there. It was just the squad wish list.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, and I see what you mean about the A not bleeding onto the edge of the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's an anarchy symbol, too.
Yeah. Okay, I see now.
Clearly drawn by someone who was not an anarchist.
Yeah, it's... oh, my God. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't even look like the proper anarchist A. Yeah, because it's like, it's 2K, cancel rent. We want everything. We want UBI. Okay. And so...
Apparently it was Veruca. It was Veruca Salt.
Most important thing, which is missing, the decapitated pig's head.
It was Veruca Salt who...
I want it all. I want it now. Yes, don't worry, Dan. As a musical fan, I know all the songs. I actually don't remember how the lyrics to I Want It Now.
Come out of the closet already.
I do remember the Oompa Loompa song that came after it. What do you get when your kid is a brat, stuck up and dumb like a Siamese cat? Okay, anyway.
What do you think is the more traumatic thing? Watching your child die, Chocolate Factory, or watching a bunch of deformed, diminutive aliens come out and sing about it? Sing about how they deserved their death.
Listen, Veruca Salt did not die, as Willy Wonka kindly informed them that the furnaces did not go off on Tuesdays. All right?
I don't think the Oompa Loompas knew that at the time.
Yeah, so looking at this is clearly fake because, yes, the graffiti doesn't touch anything that it would permanently damage.
So the counter story is that the bricks were wet, and we all know if you put spray paint on a wet brick, it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. Like,
yeah. So Nancy Pelosi is false flagging the squad, basically.
So when Mitch McConnell's house got tagged, I'm picturing like something out of Veep. Like somebody on Nancy Pelosi's team was like, holy shit, Mitch McConnell's house just got vandalized. We have to vandalize Nancy Pelosi's house right stat now, or it's going to look like they're going to blame it on us. We got to get in on the sympathy. He's going to get all the sympathy.
Yep. And I also might have believed that Nancy Pelosi's house doesn't have cameras by the garage door.
I know, right? If Rand Paul had gotten his fucking ribs kicked in today instead of 5 years ago, tomorrow you'd find that Nancy Pelosi's grandson had his ribs kicked in. Not her, but she would have got someone. They kicked in my intern's ribs. It was awful. Could have been me. It was not me, though, thankfully.
Yeah. Is there anything else to say about this obviously fake attack on Nancy Pelosi's house?
I mean, just, let's pray for her.
Yeah. All right. Back to the election. Now, so now that we're almost, okay, it's January 3rd as we record this, and the Senate was supposed to validate something electors very recently, and Ted Cruz has pushed it back a week to investigate voting abnormalities. Republicans, conservatives have been, as we all know, ingesting a lot of copes and sunk a lot of money, a lot of time and money. And if you have family members that are doing this, you have to stop them. That are trying to stop the steal, right? They're trying to stop the steal, and they're constantly entertaining this idea that just because he supposedly lost on November 4th doesn't mean he really lost, because it's not really done until the states certify those results. Okay, they certify the results, but it's not really done until the electoral college meets. Okay, the
electoral how Bernie college can met. Still win.
Right. Okay, the electoral college met, but they didn't really win until this, and they're writing these fan fictions.
So can I just say, I didn't know this was a thing, because I've been following, and I thought the electoral college thing was the end of the line.
There's a constant parade of dates. The Senate has to ratify this apparently, and so on. And Ted Cruz is dragging this out. It's listen, you guys gotta stop. All right, this is ridiculous. This is you're thinking like a Harry Potter person, right? Because liberals in Harry Potter, don't worry, you'll get it. Harry won because of a loophole at the last second, right? Voldemort had all those Horcruxes and whatever, and they were all destroyed. And then there was this one final climactic showdown where they got into a wand duel, but then actually Voldemort's wand didn't work because actually, did you know that, what was it? You thought that Snape killed Dumbledore and you beat Snape, so you took the wand, but that's not true. because Malfoy disarmed Dumbledore and I disarmed Malfoy. So actually, I'm the real master of the Elder Wand, so the wand won't work on me. And Voldemort's like, that's stupid, Avada Kedavra. And then the wand turns on and kills Voldemort. And that sort of, now Harry didn't really beat Voldemort. Voldemort beat himself because he didn't know about this stupid loophole. And liberals were thinking this way about about Donald Trump. They're like, we're going to impeach him. So, Trump is Voldemort, but we just got to find this. It's like sovereign citizen stuff. We've got to find the right combination of magic words and like verbal traps that'll like, he'll be like, oh, I can't argue against that. And then he'll just like, Voldemort literally exploded in a puff of smoke. He literally vanished into dust.
It's sovereign citizen. It's the income tax people.
Yeah.
It was never properly ratified. You don't get how this works, all right?
Yes.
You seem to think that there is an objective system that's like a clockwork thing.
God. They think it's God. They think it's God or J.K. Rowling, depending on your point of view.
And you put in the inputs, and then if the inputs are right, process, and the outputs come out one way, and if we change the input, we change the output. That's not how it works, folks. We did this with the judge thing. You go to the judge, and you go, look at this evidence. And what does the judge say? Does the judge say, wow, you've convinced me? They say, no standing.
Yeah.
Or latches, it's too late. You should have brought this up earlier. Or it's not enough to do anything. Or, yes, you've convinced me, but we got bigger fish to fry. There's no situation where they go, okay.
And they're entertaining weird fan fictions, too. They're like, oh, Mike Pence is going to, Trump's going to resign.
Here's what it would take to pull this off. You would need all of the people who are, all the Republicans, would have to actually vote to do this. That's not going to happen. I'll make a bet with you guys. Whoever wants to bet me, bet me. The Republicans, they're going to, this is what they do what they're always going to do. They're going to piss and moan, and they're going to shuck and jive, and then when the fucking rubber hits the road, they're going to go, well, we did what we could. Hillary Clinton was supposed to go to prison. And what happened at the end of that? The FBI director got on television and said, if she was anyone else, we would have put her in prison. And then the Republicans did nothing.
Yeah, Dan, I've seen people say, "Oh, Trump is."
And this was their sworn enemy. This was the person they hated.
Dan, what about white on white crime? Jesus Christ, Dan, I have seen people saying like, "Oh, Trump is moving aircraft carriers around because he's like making moves to arrest all these liberals." I've seen that. I've heard one person very, very close to me say that Trump like watermarks the ballots on purpose and he's just waiting to activate his trap card or whatever. Because like if he just won outright, then people wouldn't know how much the Democrats cheated. But he has this plan to like really reveal.
You know what that's called? That's almost exactly the Christus Victor. It's a Christian mythology idea, which is where Christ is the victor over the devil, over the dark forces of the world, not through fighting them, but through that kind of thing, where you set up a trap. Like, have you ever seen Gran Torino?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Major spoiler for Gran Torino. I almost want to cut that out. Yeah, Gran Torino was a fantastic movie. It's on Netflix, I'm pretty sure.
Right? You'd go, oh, why didn't he just fight them? Well, because it's like the Christus Victor thing, where Christ would not go shoot the bad guys. Christ would set up a situation where the bad guys, he sacrifices himself to expose the evil of the bad guys, because evil cannot survive when it is exposed to the people. And that's what Trump's doing. He sacrificed himself. He purposely let them steal the election so that they could drop their mask and show that they were evil. Why would he do that? Does that sound like... And
I really do mean this, dear listeners. I'm dead serious. If you have like family members or close friends and who are like getting in on this stuff, I mean, like you know how shitlibs are always like, we got to talk about, you know, how these conspiracy like how to talk to your son about the conspiracy, how do you talk to your dad about the conspiracy theories? Like, I mean, this is one of those moments. Talk to your parents and see if they believe these insane conspiracy theories about like a secret Trump victory coming down the pipe, and like try to talk them out of it, because it's just not healthy, and they might be spending money, which is not. If you're the kind of person who listens to our podcast, and you're lucky enough to have,
I knew you. Uses
And
me as a prop on this podcast.
that's right. It's either that or a
Open
wild
mic.
animal. Right. It's and if you are lucky enough to have like even vaguely right wing relatives too, right, to surround you while you have these views,